people to work with me on financial trading. I don't know if you've tried it, but that is difficult. Financial trading is got the worst reputation because people try it and they think they're trading, but they're gambling. And then they say, oh, it doesn't work, so Forex, for example. And what I do with my students before they come on, I literally ask them on the spot, tell me the hardest thing you've done or the hardest thing you've gone through, because otherwise I don't know if you're built for this. Because I don't like taking students. I make it very difficult for Fortune Academy to accept students. So they have to show me character. Because if they've just had, my dad's paid for everything in my life, I got nothing to do, I just want to try this. No, never going to work with me. So I'm glad you said that, because you had that moment where you went through really out the comfort zone. And, I agree. That's how people really know what they want. It's either they can't do it in the comfort zone. And what do you think about people who inherit money? I have a problem with those ones. So how do we fix those? Because I get some of them come to me and their mom or dad has signed them up on my course. And I'm like, well, why? Because this is you're very wealthy. But they're like, yeah, but I want you to sort them out. What would you do with inherited money people?
So look, I'll give you two stories. The one story I'll tell you is parents who are very wealthy, who are always away, and they try to buy their kids with money. It's a very, very bad mistake. Very, very bad mistake. I was in Miami. We had rented a penthouse in Miami, and I go to dinner across the street. It's like the Beverly Hills of Miami, and my son sees a white Ferrari, and he says, Daddy, that's like your red Ferrari. I said, yes, Daddy. He says, Daddy, I want you to buy it for me. I says, Daddy, I'm going to do you one better, Daddy. He says, what's that, Daddy? I said, I'm going to show you how you can buy it for yourself. He says, no, Daddy, I want you to buy it for me. I said, Daddy's not buying it for you, baby. You're going to learn how to make the money and buy it yourself. I said, you know why? He said, why? I said, because a Ferrari you buy yourself with your own hard work money, it's going to feel better when you drive it than if I buy it for you. And I want to make sure you have a better experience, buddy. So, I've seen parents who, teach their kids the proper way. When J. Paul Getty died, he had so much money, it was insane. He only gave his kids a little bit of money apiece and everything else went to charity. And his kids got frustrated. They got upset because it's not easy being a very wealthy parent to kids, because when kids go to school, their friends are always telling them one thing. Here's what it is. You just ask your dad. Your dad's a millionaire. Everybody knows. Just go Google him. Everyone knows your mom's a millionaire. Just go Google her. She's got a lot of money. Your mom's selfish. Hither is selfish. Let me tell you, I think your mom is so selfish. All she cares about is money. All Patrick cares about is money. All your dad cares about is money. And then your kid comes home one day. And every rich parent experiences this. Kid comes home. You have no idea what conversation they had with their friends and says, Daddy, what's that, son? I want a BMW M3. Oh, that's great, buddy. A lot of kids want M3s. That's phenomenal. No, I want you to buy because you are rich. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm not going to buy you that car. You know what? I knew it. You're greedy. All you care about is money. You don't care about your kids. You don't care about me. And most parents break because they feel guilty. They feel like they have to do it. And I think it's the parent's fault. And I think if the parent is willing to go through a breaking point where the kid is going to have a little bit of what is the word I'm looking for, where they go away and they have to do their own thinking. And typically during that time, you're hoping the kid doesn't do anything stupid, because it's during those moments that they may be introduced to pot, coke, ecstasy, Special K, all these other crazy things that they're going to want to do, but they have to go through it. And if you're too concerned about what they're going to go through, they'll never come back. Then you're going to buy them. Then you have to buy them forever. They'll never learn about hard work, money, all this other stuff. So that's the one part I'll tell you. I also know on the other side, parents who have raised their kids very well, they do a fantastic job with the money that's passed over to them. And they do even a better job than their parents did. So unfortunately, it comes down to how the parents raise the kids rather than how the kids handle the money.
Okay, amazing. So formal education versus this type of education where they come out of their comfort zone and out of their career, what would you say? Because you've come from a great background. You've even had Harvard in your resume. So, a lot of these people rely on education. I did. I came out of university thinking that was it. That was my lottery ticket to make loads of money. And within 3 months, I was like, wow, is this it? So I just jumped into property, real estate. So, and that's how I really made my life. So what would you tell people who are relying on that formal education?
Look, I wrote a book called Drop Out and Get School. Okay. And I put a quiz on my website to take if it's good to drop out, if it's good to stay in, because for some people it makes sense to stay in. For some people it makes sense to get out. So what do you want to do? For instance, if you want to be a lawyer because you want to pursue politics, you got to go to school. You know, if you are from a family where it's a lot of doctors and you want to go out there and be a pediatrician, or you want to be a surgeon, or you want to be whatever because you want to be find a cure, or you want to help other people out, you got to go to school. You got to go to 12 years. And I want you to go to school if you're going to work on my body. So I want you to go to as much schooling as possible. Dentistry, like we can't stand the pain of going to the dentist, but I want a dentist who knows what they're doing, right? We don't want them to slip and all of a sudden they cut the gums. We don't want that. You don't want that thinking about it. So I want that person to go to as much school as possible. And then there are degrees like fine arts.
I know, and language.
You know, for what? You know, you go to school for communication. Okay, I mean, if those teachers were such great communicators, they would be in sales. Let's face it. They would be running a business. They would be doing completely something else. I don't see any reason for communications degree. I don't see any reason for a business degree. I'll give you an idea. I never went to college, and I never got my 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. I was a guy that went to Santa Monica Community College, and I wanted to be a personal trainer, nutritionist, and I was going to be the bodybuilder. At that time, I was competing, and I was lifting weights, and that's all I was thinking about. Went to college. The only class I ever paid attention to was math. Anything else, I had zero tolerance for it. I mean, I could care less about any of it. Math, you had my attention. Anything else, you didn't have my attention. So I said, I'm not doing this scholarship. So I get out and I go into sales, and things start happening for me. But I went back to Harvard last year or 2 years ago. Last year, they had a program called the Owner President Manager Management Program. You pay like $40,000 to go per year, and 3 years later you become an alumni. And last year I went to year one. I think the total room's net worth was like, $10 billion. It was a solid number, 10 or $12 billion. 144 different CEOs and founders from 60 different countries. So there was a lot to be learned from each other.
Yeah.
But as I sat there and I looked at everybody that was teaching the classes, none of them were entrepreneurs. I didn't understand what I needed to be there. Do I need to belong to a circle of entrepreneurs and CEOs and pay 20 grand a year for that? 100%. I don't need to go to college. And the more and more I go to it, if you have no problem reading and doing your own due diligence, I am not necessarily the biggest fan. I think 80% of kids are wasting their time going to college. I think 20% need to. I think 80% is a waste of time.